Hello and welcome to this introductory video on the Workplace Learning and Support Framework. My name is Dr. Karina Dancer, and in this video we hope to share with you some information about the second step after you have become familiar with the framework, and that is when you're going to be forming your team to then work through the next few steps. So I hope you find this information helpful. Step 2 of implementing the Workplace Learning and Support Framework is where you're going to form your team. So now that you're familiar with the framework, we're going to give you some guidance and some pointers as to how to really carry out this step. We have some suggestions for how you might like to form your team. So the first thing is really to decide at what level you wish to evaluate the workplace learning and support offer within your own organisation. So you could actually evaluate what is happening at a team level. You could look at it as a department level. You could look at it across different professional groups, or you could look at it from the whole organisation. So it really depends on at what level you would like to evaluate your service, and then you can identify some of the key people, making sure that they have scope and overview of that particular level. So the next idea is to engage with representatives from the organisation who have an interest in workplace learning and support. It's always helpful to already tap on those who maybe already have this as part of their role. And to facilitate the self-assessment process, we recommend that you appoint a lead individual, such as a manager or a team leader or a clinical educator. So it is important that this leader has some standing within the organisation, so that if any recommendations are made, then they have the appropriate networks and channels to be able to make changes. You may also wish to have representation from different levels of the service. So that means that you might actually involve people who are maybe in more junior posts, maybe from the support teams, and also through the middle levels of their careers, as well as people from senior levels. And some organisations may wish to include their human resources or other relevant departments as well. So this is something, the framework could be cross-cutting within that organisation or departments. So once you have representatives from your organisation, then it's helpful to provide them with the framework and the links in the videos and ask that they become familiar with the framework. Then we recommend you set a meeting, and in that meeting we suggest that you complete steps 3, 4 and 5, which we'll talk about in the next video. And this process usually lasts around 2 hours, although it may vary depending on the number of people involved and also the principles being evaluated. So the next steps would be to review the full Workplace Learning and Support Framework, to form your team and set a meeting to work through the framework. So it also would include providing information for the team to be able to pre-read before they come to that meeting. And then once you are at that meeting, we suggest that you complete step 3, which is the organisational self-assessment tool, that you then move straight on to reviewing 1 or 2 principles, and they will depend on what you found in the organisational self-assessment tool, and then finally to develop an action plan for what changes you would like to make.